Hello, today I will make a tutorial about solving Go problems, especially corner problems because they are the most troublesome. So what we will do, we will focus on general principles, but I will choose a theme anyway, like a famous Go problem, quite important to know. And we will work on it, but we will focus on the general principles. I will choose as a theme this shape. This is the famous L shape in the corner. You notice this L shape like the alphabet letter. Okay, and the problem is if is this group alive or dead? How shall we approach it? Before we go to the problem, I would like to discuss something else, something quite important as well. This is about space, basically inner space of groups. This concept of inner space relates to the liberties that we have inside. I will make an example. So let's build a group. Doesn't really matter so much, and this group is completely surrounded. What is inner space? Inner space is this kind of space inside the area. And when we talk about Go problems, this space becomes very important. To know the shape of this space, to analyze the shape, and well, if we have to kill the group, then we have to establish if the group has two eyes or not. So basically, we will talk only about inner space that is in a single area, because if it's already separated in two areas, then the group is easily alive. You notice there are two eyes, already more, if I put a stone and separate the areas. But now the inner space, because of this stone, reduced by one. So we have only the marketplace left. I have to unmark this one. Okay, so basically this is the concept of inner space. How this applies to our problem in the corner. Uh, Suppose black is completely finished the territory from both sides, then the inner space would be those 6 spaces in the corner. Uh, how the inner space changes if we remove a stone. For example, if black doesn't have this stone here, then if this stone is missing, we have to assume that white can play there. So basically, white can reduce the space, black can block, and now if we are to analyze the inner space of black, instead of 6 we have only 5 liberties. Okay, so this is the concept. This is how we look at this inner space. And it's extremely important to know the basic shapes that can be a problem. That we call them in Go language the dying shapes. I will put immediately the shapes in question. Okay, let me remove this also. What are the dying shapes? Let's start from one space, one inner space. One inner space is like this. Two inner space, something like this. Three inner space can be something like this or something like this. For four inner spaces we have this shape that can die, and also this shape that can die. The rest are alive. And for 5 we have this one, and you will not meet this shape very often, but this is also possible. This is also a dead shape. And for 6, which is the maximum possible, it's a very special shape. It's from the 5 shape here. We put one extra stone here, so you notice it's a combination of the star shape on the right side here and this other shape. So this is the maximum amount of inner space that can still be killed. Basically, those are the shapes that you have to know, to remember. These are the dying shapes. What do I mean by dying shapes? For example, if we have a group of stones, let's put something like this, and then white around. We start already with the 3 position because the 1 and 2 are too easy to notice that they are eyeless, so it's no problem. If there are, for example, 3 white stones inside, even if black can capture the 3 stones, black is still dead. Let's remove some stones to make some extra liberties and put them a little bit like this. Okay, so black is not in Atari. Black looks like he have 4 inner spaces. If we look like this, it looks like it's 4, but this is an illusion. Black at the end will be forced to fill the liberty. When all the liberties on the outside are filled, black will be in Atari and he will be forced to capture the 3 stones. So the thing is that after black captured the 3 stones, white can play inside, and black will die. And the same thing applies to all other type of shapes. We can extend a little bit this. Let's put the black stones a little bit on the outside. I make the shape of 5, for example, that we showed. You see it here. This shape, it's now inside this black territory, and even if black can capture 5 white stones, black can do this. White will play in the center of the shape, and black is dead. So one first important knowledge that we have to have about solving Go problems are the dying shapes. So you have to remember those. It's quite easy actually. There are not so many, and the ones with few spaces are quite easy to remember and often seen in games. So this is no problem. Okay. So let's continue. Now let's go back and analyze the L shape in the corner. I will remove those stones and I will remove everything like this. And let's start with various moves from black. So my affirmation is that this group is already dead. So we just have to prove it how it's dead, and we have to learn how to kill it even when black plays. So suppose black plays here to extend his space. Then what white should do, the first general principle, is that we have to reduce the space. Reducing the space is always coming from the outside. This move in Go language is called Hane, and there is a proverb that Hane brings death. So by reducing the space, we have the best chance to kill such groups. Black should try to get maximum space, and now if we look carefully, we notice the 5 space inside. That we should know already that is a dying shape from here. Also you see it on the lower left, where I already solved the problem like this. So now white's job is just to play in the center of this shape, and black is dead. Okay. It's very important also to start with the correct sequence. I saw even dumb players sometimes making mistakes here. For example, there are some dumb players who would say that okay, we can kill with the Hane move that I showed before, but we can also kill this group with a move like this. And indeed, in this situation, this group is dead even like this. If black tries to play here, white will play here, black has to separate white, and now when white plays here, he makes these 3 stones inside. At the end, black will be forced to capture the 3 stones, and this is a dead shape, the dead shape that you see here. But this is not always the case. For example, let's suppose we have a little bit different scenario on the outside. We have some black stones around here. This happens very often in the real game. The corners are not isolated, there are stones more or less well, close to the corner. And if, for example, we have this situation, we notice that the bad style for white to start killing with this move will not work this time, because black can play here, threatening to connect with the outside. Now white is forced to block the connection, and then black can live with this move. Even if white play here, now black can play here and he has 2 eyes. So another important observation is that we have to learn to correctly solve problems like this. And actually the principle is quite simple. Always first instinct should be to come from the outside. Let's try a little bit more. If black is trying to extend his space in the other side, something like this, how should the white kill? It's the same principle. First reduce the space. If black block, then already we saw this shape before. We have this 5 inner space shape, and when we play in the center, the group is dead. Okay, so we just noticed that for the type of moves that black wants to expand his inner space, the correct way to kill is to reduce the inner space. This is natural. Also, an observation for people, sometimes beginners have the illusion that when they play something like this will expand the space. But when white answers normally outside, the space is completely the same. Still black has to play here to have 5 inner space. And also sometimes this is even more risk, that white can reduce the space by playing himself inside. Sometimes this can be a very powerful way of reducing the space even more. So we have to be careful about this. The Hane move from black this time doesn't increase the inner space. Okay, so how should the black try next? Let's try a move like this. Here we come to the second important principle in corner solving, corner problem solving. The 2-1 points, basically this and this point, 1-2 and 2-1, they are Mii, they are equivalent. If we let the opponent play both of those 2 points, we notice that very soon, for example, white tries to reduce the space that was the correct way to approach before. We notice that very soon black will play here and make 2 eyes, because quickly black made the eye in the corner, and now there is another eye here on the outside. So even if white play here, black still has space. So like this, white failed. So we notice that it's good to know the important principles and to apply them often in the games, but sometimes our own knowledge can be our own enemy. General principles don't always work. This is good to remember. So in this case, the principle to reduce the space from outside doesn't work. We have to apply another principle, which is that these 2 points in the corner are Mii. Basically, white should play here in order to stop black making the second eye in the corner, and even if black blocks from the outside, white still has time to kill, so this is easily dead shape. Now let's go back a little bit and try a new move for black. Black plays here. This is again the same principle. 2-1 points are Mii in the corner. If we try the reducing the space approach, black will play here and he will be alive. If white tries reducing the space from this side, black will play here and he will be alive. So we notice how important is the other point in order to survive for black and for white to kill. And here we notice another principle that is very important. When we try a variation and we fail, we have to think to play where the opponent played. Okay, so in both variations that I tried before, the opponent played at b19. This means that this is the vital point there. So in this situation, white should not be afraid to jump inside. Black can cut this stone, but then we go back to the first principle. We reduce the space, and finally we have to play inside to take the eye. So like this, black is dead. Let's see what other variation can black try. He can try a move like this. This is again something that an example that shows how principles can easily be not correct all the time. For example, white tries to reduce the space. This is a natural move and it's correct approach here. When black answered, now black played the 2-1. If we try to apply the principle that the 2-1 points are mi, we should play here. But then black will play here and he will be alive. So in this situation, we notice that the third principle that I say, if we try a variation and we fail, we should play where the opponent played and try again. So we should, maybe the vital point is where the opponent played. So if white tried this and black played here and he had success, then white should rethink his variation and try to play where black played. Also, we notice that if we apply the first principle we learned to reduce the space, black will play here and he will be alive. So in both situations, black played here and he succeeded to leave, which means that white should play where black played in all these variations to leave. So white should play here. In this situation, black, if black makes the eye inside, the white will connect. And if black separate from the outside, then white will play inside and this group is dead. Another observation for beginners, often they think to connect a stone, something like the stone at c19 here. This is not the case. When you try to kill this kind of stone, it's easily sacrificed, even if black captured. This eye is not a true eye, so this doesn't matter for the killing sequence. And here another observation is that it's very important to play safe here. White should be afraid and play like this. If white tries to block, then this cut can be dangerous. But there is no reason to block, because if white plays calm like this, then black cannot escape, even if black plays here. Now this time white can block and black has to connect. And this makes clear that the eye at c19 is not a good eye. So this shape is dead. Okay, what is left? Black can try this move. This is a strange move because it's basically kind of killing his eye space, but anyway, let's see what happens to this. White should think if he should play or not. If white plays, reducing the space, it's usually a good move, and we notice that this space for black is actually extremely small. Already, even if black plays one more move, the inner space is something like this, which was a dead shape, one of the dead shapes that we studied. But in this situation, white has an even better move, which is not to play at all, because here, even if black plays another move, he's still not alive. If black tries to expand his space, now we notice that he will easily make two eyes if he plays inside in the 2-1 point. We can still play from the outside. He has to block, and now we have the fourth space in the fourth shape in the corner, and playing in the center of the shape kills the group. As an observation, white could simply here play in the vital point and kill the ice already. It's still dead. But preserving the good style of killing may be important. Okay, another move that it's interesting for black to try would be something like this. And here we apply the concept that 2-1 points are mi, so white immediately should think about playing this. If black separates, then white plays here and black is dead. So we notice that this attempt of black to play at b17 was even worse. So the shape is not alive. But what we have left, maybe this is the last move that we can try. Here we have to be very careful. This can be a tricky problem for many beginners. If we apply the principle of reducing the space, which normally it's the good instinct, when black answers like this, now we have this space of 4 inside that we didn't see it in the killing shapes. So normally this is alive. So white can still try to kill by this kind of aggressive move, by cutting here. So let me remove the triangles. White can try to cut, but then black can at least get a ko by playing here. This is a ko. White has to capture in the corner, and then black should make a quadrat. Okay, so this is a failure for white. So there was a trap in this problem. Also, let's see. If we cannot approach with this, what other approach we have? Normally we have to think where would black play to make 2 eyes. So if I was black, I would play immediately this move. This makes 1 eye at b17 and the rest of the corner is the second eye. So in this kind of situation, this principle to play where the opponent wants to play applies very well. So normally white should try to kill like this. Even if black separates, white play here and this inner space is dead shape. Okay, so this was the discussion about the principles, general principle how to kill corner shapes, and I just showed you one of the easiest corner shapes, but also quite important to know. Another observation here is that as it is, this L shape in the corner is dead. But if we increase the space a little bit, for example, we have this shape now. This time, in order to kill this black, white has to play. This is not dead already because black space just increased by 1. How to kill this group? If we remember the lesson about reducing the space, this is a very easy problem. We should just reduce the space. And now, basically what we did, we reduced the problem to the L shape in the corner, a problem that we know that black cannot leave. So this is a very clear and easy way. Any other move, something like this, for example, can lead to complications. For example, if black has some moves around here, when white play like this, black can play here. In order to kill, white has to take the 2-1 point. And now white is threatening to take the eye at d19 or to connect, but black can play this kind of move in center to threaten to connect also with the outside stones. So white has to answer here. And this exchange gives black time to come back and make a second eye. So we notice that if we try a different approach in solving this problem, this can be quite dangerous. But if we remember that the L shape is already dead, and if we understand the concept of inner space, then reducing the space and reducing the problem to a problem that we know makes things very easy for white. So if we play here, there is no problem at all. Another observation is that in this situation, if black shape increases even more, then this time this shape is alive. Even if white tries, let's see that black can take that one point, force white to try to kill with the other to one point. Oh, actually this is a problem. So in this situation this is a small problem, sorry. So in this situation, correct answer for black would be to play here. This looks like black will easily make ice by playing at a17, so white should try to take the vital point here, but when black blocked the corner, he has one eye in the corner and one eye on the other side, so he's alive. So this L shape, if it has one extension, if it doesn't have any extension at all, and by extension I mean this kind of move to increase the inner space, this kind of moves. If L shape doesn't have any extension, is a dead shape. If it has one extension, it can live only if the opponent plays, and if it has two extensions, like this, then the shape is alive unconditionally. Okay, another important observation about corner problems is that from what we noticed about dying shapes, that most dying shapes have maximum 6 inner spaces. So we can safely assume that any inner space that have 7 or more spaces, it's alive. So this kind of group, it's alive. You notice that for 6, there is a very special shape. It's the only dying shape, and there are some special situations when a 6 inner space can die. I will show you, for example, one here. It's also with the L shape in the corner, where black already managed to play 2 times. So normally this inner space is alive if it has 2 liberties. If the liberties are taken, then we have a special situation. Even if there are 6 spaces in the corner, white can still try this powerful move here. Normally black can live with this move, but when white play here, black is in shortage of liberties, because all the liberties are taken, and he cannot play at b17 to make the second eye, which means that black is dead. So this is why outside liberties are important. If only one liberty was not filled on the outside, then black would play here and leave. Also, if there is only one liberty left in the corner, then white can try this move. Sorry, and continue like this to kill the eye. And when black play here and white take here, then we notice that black cannot Atari from inside, so this shape becomes Ko. This is why the second outside liberty was important. If in this shape this liberty was missing, then black could play here and still be alive. So I just showed you a small example of how the 6 space in the corner can sometimes be dangerous, but this is an exception to the rule. Normally 6 spaces are alive. In most situations, 6 spaces are okay. And if it's less than 6 spaces, then we have a problem. It means that the group it can be in trouble. So if you want, you can think about the traffic lights. More than 7 inner space, it's green light, it's safe. 6 inner spaces, it's a yellow light, can be dangerous, and 5 or less inner spaces, it's red light. This means it can be quite lethal. Okay, so I will finish this tutorial by showing one last example of quite important problem also. I will just make some space in this corner here. So the problem is it's like this. Okay, so black to play and kill this white shape, and let's see how the general principles apply here. So first we apply the principle that we know we have to reduce the space, because if we look at white space, we notice that there's a lot of inner space here. There are 6 inner spaces, so normally this group would be alive. But now we continue. We apply the second principle that we learned. After playing this exchange, we notice that there is a 2-1 point occupied, which means that black automatically should think about taking the next one. And then white's job is to increase his inner space. He can try by doing, for example, this type of move. But now, how to kill this shape? We have to think to reduce the space. We cannot come here because the stone will be in Atari, will be captured. So this is not great. So because we cannot go to T15, we have to go step by step. So we go in this way. And we notice that if white makes this eye, black can Atari here, white has to connect, and finally white has only one eye. There is another way for white to try to increase his space, to play here. But now we apply the same principle, reducing the space, just that this move is not so obvious as it was before to reduce the space. But because we cannot play T15, we have to play here. But this is nice to reduce the space. If white plays here to make maximum space, then because of shortage of liberties, against this white has to connect, and black will manage to make a dead shape. Another way for white to try to make this eye would be to play here. And in this situation, the third principle will apply. We notice that if we go by reducing the space, white will connect and make 2 eyes. So here we have to play where the opponent played in the variation that we failed. So we have to play here. We notice that white cannot connect at T15, he has to capture, and this time black can play here and here. This is a good problem to learn. It can appear very often in real games. I can give you a small example, and with this I will finish the tutorial. How can this problem appear in a real game? For example, we have this kind of shape here, and white invades here, black block, white hane, black nobi, white play here to, already the corner starts to look alive, but then black plays this, white blocks, black turns here, and white connects like this. And if this happens, then black can kill white as we shown before. So you see how easily you can get this kind of problem in a real game. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. See you next time.